It started with Fox, the bass player, and I, and then just, you know, just kind of experimenting the sound happened with different people joining the group and different people leaving the group. I mean, we've been playing for 8 years. Lots of bands don't even make it to 8 years, so we're pretty happy with that. My band's name is the Spikedrivers. We got the name, I think, 8 years ago. It was me and Steve and Fox, the bass player. We were sitting around with a couple of our buddies, and my last name is Henry, right? So my one friend was sitting off in the corner, just like kind of minding his own business while a couple of us were talking about band names. And then he's throwing around a frickin' mini sledgehammer, trying to be like Neil Cassidy or something. And then he's like, well, Jesse's last name is Henry, and we could just call it, why don't you just call it J for Jesse, and then that could be like thought of as John, and then use Henry, and then call yourselves the Spikedrivers. So the mythic of the, you know, the John Henry with the spike, you know, beating the machine and then dying. But then, you know, then you can also look at then since, you know, thought of other things that the Spikedrivers represent in this kind of, you know, some people think it's a junkie, which I don't know why, but I mean, I can see. But then the last thing is Martin Luther with the Reformation. We have 3 guitar players who rotate. It's Johnny Versler and Adam Schlenker and Steve Sweeney. And then Nathan Anders plays the drums, and on bass is Stephen Fox, and Megan Palmer plays the electric violin. And I think we're more like an improvisational rock blues band now. We started out more as like a bluegrass, old-time country sort of number, and then we started getting some different musicians in there, and they had electric instruments, and then that just kind of, the sound kind of progressed into what it is now, from starting out just doing, you know, standard bluegrass traditional music. So I grew up in the Mennonite tradition. There was lots and lots of singing going on, and I was always involved with the choir. Then had to take piano. Then, you know, I was fortunate enough to take piano lessons when I was 7, and then was in the, you know, orchestra, playing violin, played saxophone in like, what, 6th grade, and then just took off from there. Never did I think I'd be playing like, you know, professional or semi-professional. I came down here in 1996 to go to Capital University to study the saxophone and do some jazz music. That's how I met Nate Anders, the drummer at Capital University, and took about 4 years just traveling around and came back. And then started playing the guitar while I was kind of on my little cross-country traveling, and have since picked up like guitar, piano, and bass clarinet. There was another band that I played in when I was in my early 20s, living in Kansas, called the Honky Tonk. But that's kind of where I got into doing like the bluegrass and old-timey and acoustic roots music from. If it wasn't for that group, then I probably would still be playing just like jazz music. Next time we'll be playing the Duck Creek Log Jam, which, come on, it's gonna be a blast. It's got a sweet name already.